Thank you, panelists and Mr. Jamil, for the informative panel discussion. It is time to commence with the second panel discussion on the topic, Recycling Industry, Scrap Quality, Standards, Safety, and Technical Capacity. This session will be moderated by Ms. Maria Al-Ansari, Strategy Specialist at Sohar Aluminium. She is a strategic investment professional with over 10 years of experience across real estate and national economic diversification. She has led key business development initiatives focused on decarbonization, recycling, and ICV strategy. I now invite Ms. Maria Al-Ansari to please come on stage to introduce the panelists and moderate the discussion.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Khalas, we reach afternoon time now. I'm the only one who stood between you and your lunch, so I'll try to make this panel discussion as short as I can, just to ensure that you will have a good lunch after this. Why we are having this panel discussions? Because we cannot leave the forum without the second pillar of the recycling ecosystem. Jamil, panel discussion focused on policy and clear regulations that is needed to ensure we have a proper recycling ecosystem in Oman. So the second pillar or the second vertical that we should also focus on to ensure that we have a proper ecosystem in Oman is the technical part of the recycling sector here in Oman. That's why the panel discussion that I'll be leading will be focusing on scrap quality, standard, safety, and technical capacity, which is the technical part of the recycling ecosystem. I'll start calling now I didn't introduce, myself because already Suzanne did. Thank you, Suzanne, for this. But my name is Maria Al-Ansari. I joined Sohar Aluminium actually last year in May. I'll be completing 1 year, inshallah, this month. I used to work in an investment area, and now it's my first time to work in industrial area, and I'm truly proud to be working at Sohar Aluminium. I'll be starting calling my panelists. My first panelist is Quds Al-Belushi. Please, Quds, can you come on stage? Quds Al-Belushi, she is Sustainability and Decarbonization Officer at Oman Aluminium Rolling Company. She has over 5 years of experience in EHS, carbon management, and decarbonization. She currently leads GHG management and ESG strategy implementation at OAC. Please welcome with me Ms. Quds Al-Belushi. My second panelist is Ms. Engineer Azhar Al-Hanai, Director of Chemicals and Waste Management at Environment Authority of Oman. Please welcome with me Engineer Azhar Al-Hanai. She was already on stage in the morning as a keynote speaker. I would like to invite on stage as well Mr. Muhammad Azzam, CEO, Silver Star Copper and Aluminium Smelting. Muhammad has strong knowledge of the market and safety protocols and has established the company reputation of reliability. He is a firm believer in promoting eco-friendly recycling practices. Please welcome with me Mr. Muhammad. And finally, a representation from Sohar Aluminium. Please welcome with me Mr. Hajj Al-Ka'bi, our EHS manager at Sohar Aluminium. Mr. Hajji brings extensive experience across the aluminium, along with oil and gas industries. He previously held role with PP Oman and Schlumberger, where he developed strong expertise in health, safety, and environmental management. As I mentioned, I'll try to be quick and focus, so that's why I'll start immediately. Thank you. Appreciate the time and effort you are giving to the aluminium, to the resource management overall, but today we are focusing on aluminium. We know recycling is now more critical and ever in driving more efficiency and enthusiasm in how circular industry should work in the future as well. I'll go immediately to, but still, we are facing some difficulties when it comes to the technical capabilities of the industrial of the recycling sector in Oman. So that's why I'll start the panel with asking Ms. Quds. Quds, from a user perspective, how important is traceability and quality assurance in scrap sourcing, and what risks arise when these are not properly managed?
So first of all, thank you, Maria, for the introduction. And before I start, just allow me to thank again our neighbors, Sahara Aluminium, for organizing the forum for the third time. And not only for that, but because they are leading the initiatives on promoting the recycling and the use of the secondary metal. And having this, I would say, push from a primary producer itself, where taking in consideration Sahara Aluminium sets at the early beginning of the value chain, is giving sort of a push for the whole value chain to start thinking of this. And coming to the question regarding the responsible sourcing and quality, I'll talk a bit first about the quality part of it. So having off specs, I would say, scrap is having a risk and leading to multiple issues related to extra processing cost, maybe, and having extra treatments. For example, skimming is one of them. And also is leading to maybe sometimes issues with the performance of the final product, which overall is leading to a financial risk, a technical and financial risk, and which is immediately can be seen. On the traceability side, the other side of it, the other part of the question is, now traceability is equally important with the quality. And if we have a very limited traceability, it means that we have a limited understanding or visibility in the origin of the material or the scrap used. It means it's leading to ESG and compliance related risk, especially with the maybe involvement in unethical sourcing practices. Sourcing from a CARA list, I would say, regions, conflict affected and high risk areas. And as well, there's human rights, maybe violations associated with it, labor and forced labor practices associated with it. So from the responsible sourcing aspect, there is a risk of compliance with some of the international standards, as, for example, ASI as a certified company, Aluminum Stewardship Initiative, responsible sourcing aspects and requirements. And there is also raising customer expectations about the responsible sourcing. So as Engineer Saeed have in the opening remarks said that the shift on maybe the customer expectations was quality maybe first at the early beginning. Nowadays, it's coming more into the responsible sourcing aspects, emissions reporting and intensities and etc. And the other part of the risk is the emissions and reporting risk. If you don't have traceability, it means you don't have an emission factors to calculate and report your emissions out of using the scrap. And again, it comes to a failure to report some CBAM reports, for example, as Dr. Mohamed have mentioned. And yesterday, by the way, we were talking about CBAM in OQ decarbonization form. So it's one of the, again, customer expectations. And failure to meet, it's related with the market losing risk, because you need to, at the end of the day, you need to meet your customer expectations and align your product offerings with what they need.
Thank you, Quds. Very clear, the challenge that's faced by end user when it comes to the traceability and the quality of scrap they are sourcing. Actually, what Quds she means is the recycled aluminium, so sourced from the recycler firm itself. That's why I'll skip Engineer Azhar and I'll move to the recycler. Mr. Azzam, by hearing the difficulties and the challenges that the end user is facing when it comes to the quality of the scrap and the traceability and all the challenges mentioned by Quds, we would like to know as well, scrap quality and consistency remain major challenges as well for you. What are the most common issues recyclers face in maintaining quality and reliability of material and ensuring that by overcoming these challenges, they will satisfy the end user as well?
Thank you very much, Maria. I remember last year we discussed about the quantity of scrap, and this year we forward, okay, and this year we are going to discuss about the quality of scrap. Okay, quality of scrap is really a major issue, especially in secondary aluminium. And this is not only national issue, this is also international issue. Okay, for example, if we have a scrap material and we want to collect or buy something, okay, there are some different type of issues. And according to my point of view, there are three types of main issues. One issue, non-metallic issues, like you can say rubber, plastic, sand, tissues, cigarettes. Most probably we are finding this type of issues. And this is a cost. Second issue, which is you can say a metallic issue. In aluminium is always coming with iron attachment and we cannot remove. It's not easy. The third issue is very common issue. Is you cannot say metallic and you cannot say non-metallic. It comes with the chemical composition with the aluminium. But we cannot use all types of aluminium and these chemical composition in a once a time. For example, if we want to smelt aluminium and there is a little bit quantity of zinc or a copper or a lead, okay, we cannot melt. It creates a problem for us. We cannot make high value aluminium. And this is the main issue. But in our local market, there is a problem. Okay, our collectors or our suppliers, they don't have as much as knowledge regarding aluminium. What they did, they mix each and everything. And this is aluminium. Yes, we know this is aluminium, but this is different types, different grades of aluminium. And we cannot use all this aluminium all together. So these are the main issues, but we are handling these issues because we have a very expert team and we are segregating. Okay, we are buying this scrap, you can say lower level value, okay, and we are changing in a high level value. Even though in my booth, okay, we have already share almost 4 or 5 samples. There are different type of samples. You can see in my booth 6063 sample, A356, A3562, okay, AK5M2, ADC. So we produce all these aluminiums, okay, in a local market. We buy scrap and we produce a different types of alloy. And we are selling this type of alloys in the international market and local market. So if we have, for example, if any recyclers, they have a very expert team, they can handle very easy, okay. But if they have a knowledge, if they don't have a knowledge, then they cannot handle. This is the main thing.
So this is the main issue. So, and I do believe it's a risk as well to the end user, but the recycler as well, they are facing some difficulties regarding the origin of the scrap they are sourcing from the collectors. So it is the source actually of the scrap. We have to cascade it down, the reasons why we are having challenges today as an end user, by what Qud says in traceability, quality, certifications of the scrap origins and all these things. It's not fall within the recycler itself, so it's much deeper than the recycler. It's beyond the recycler's abilities and capabilities. But in a later stage, I think I'll be shed light on what solutions that can be adapted based on your international experience, Mr. Azzam, on how to overcome these challenges. But now I would like to move to Mr. Haji. Mr. Haji, from a safety perspective as well, now we talk about the risk when it comes to quality, CBAM regulations, ASI, and all these related things by selling the products to the international market. But from a safety perspective, scrap procurement can be significant as well. What are the key hazards associated with contamination and handling of scrap materials?
Thanks, Maria, for the good question. We heard a lot of good things about increasing the recycling opportunities in Oman and internationally. But also with the recycling, there comes also a safety risk that need to be managed quite well. So in the recycling industry, I need a full day to talk about the hazards in the recycling industry, but I will touch the main hazards for the recyclers. So normally the hazard you will have at your recycling facility normally started one step, two step before it gets into your facility. So at the recyclers or the scrap collector, we have a lot of batteries. We have a lot of contamination, acids, water, sealed container, many things can go wrong and can get into your facility. Also, all these items, you have to transport it right to your facility. So there is a logistic part. So there is a driving risk. There is, we need to ensure that the load is stable. There is a driving risk to the driver. So throughout the supply chain, there is a lot of risk that need to be managed very well through each step. At your facility, you know, it lies the greatest risk. You know, to have an explosion, you don't need this much water. You need tiny amount of moisture that cannot be seen by your eyes. So what will happen when the molten material comes on top of the water? It expands 1,600 times. Obviously, molten material has to go somewhere. So if it is open furnace, it will rupture your furnace. And you can imagine the catastrophic consequences that can happen. So, you know, the normal safety pyramid, when we're talking about the leading indicator and lagging indicator, when it comes to molten material, it needs to be much, much more strict. And, you know, the normal logic does not apply. Why? You can have very tiny amount of moisture that you cannot see by your eyes, and somebody skipped an important step to preheat. And you can end up with losing your business. So there are a lot of hazards that out there that need to be managed. And there are also other hazards accompanying the process. You know, you have sharp edges, you have ergonomic issues, you have, you know, robotics, etc., that need to be managed quite well. So my message, with the growing of the recycling, our safety standard need to be up to date and up to the standard.
Thank you, Haji. Very insightful. Engineer Azhar, by hearing all these challenges faced by either the recycler and the end user, but they are still working hardly toward ensuring circular economy is part of their businesses. So from a national perspective, what are the key challenges you are facing in building a well-integrated recycling ecosystem, particularly in terms of infrastructure and coordination across stakeholders to support the industry itself and to support the efforts that the industry players is giving till today in order to flourish the circularity in the aluminium sector?
Thank you, Maria, for this question. And referring to the previous presentations and also our colleagues, what they mentioned, we keep repeating there is some challenge or a big challenge which affect the downstream of recycling of aluminium scrap. So the main challenge, it appears that there is no segregation of waste, and this call for more efforts have to be done for public awareness and also for collectors to be aware about when collecting this waste, as it affects the factory of or the facilities when recycling this waste. Also, some challenges are among the integration work with the stakeholders need to be enhanced better than this, because now we have new governance in the sector. As Environment Authority is the policy and strategy maker, ABSR is the regulator or financial regulator, and BA is the operator with the municipalities for collection and and transporting of municipal waste. So this collaboration with the stakeholders and also with the collaboration of the private sector needs to be enhanced to face all these challenges which we have mentioned at morning.
Very clear, and I think the players in the industry, they are ready for this collaboration, and hopefully we will see much further collaboration in the future in order to overcome the existing challenges, and we have a well-defined ecosystem. I'll move again to Ms. Quds. I would like to know what systems or frameworks are needed to ensure responsible sourcing of scrap materials, particularly in maintaining compliance with environmental and industrial standards.
So when we're talking about the frameworks and standards here, we need to understand that frameworks and standards had to be across the full value chain. So standards adopted and used by each and every single part of the value chain. It's not a one-man show. The recyclers have, end users have their part to do, the policy makers have their part to do. So starting from the policy makers, that I think we need to go a bit beyond what is the waste management approach. We need a step further to go into setting standards for the aluminum quality. Means certain contamination levels, alloy grades, and I would say quality and aspects. Going to the recyclers, I think adoption of like state-of-art maybe technologies or digitalization to enhance the sorting, collection, and etc. would be really helpful to be used. And from the end user's perspective, I would take OWARC here as a fabricator example. So we need to have an in-place governance, like maybe ESG audits for the suppliers should be there. And by the way, we're doing it as part of our routine job to ensure the responsible sourcing part of it. And there's also the sourcing, of course, from an, I would say, audited or certified maybe recyclers. So yeah, we need collective efforts on this part, collective standards and frameworks. Each is having his role, I would say.
So it's indeed that we have to have a proper framework that should be established in order to ensure all these, the previous challenge discussed is overcome. I'll move now to Haji. Haji, how can companies effectively manage operational risks across the scrap supply chain from collection to processing?
So previously we talked about the hazard. Now let's talk about how we can control this hazard. How can we bring it to acceptable region? So as you know, risk is a combination of likelihood and severity. So whatever we do, we need to bring the likelihood and the severity as low as reasonably practicable. And this can only be achieved with the right hierarchy of control, elimination, all the way to BBE and BBC. So starting off with the scrap collectors. You know, we need to have a strong pre-qualification process for the scrap collectors. You know, they need to have similar EHS maturity to your organization. They need to establish a list of banned items, a list of sterile areas where you cannot have this contamination. They need to conduct also the inspection before it gets to your facility. One of the ignored areas, I would say the transportation, because, you know, a source of contamination can be during the transportation. Sometimes, out of a good faith, somebody will stick a can into your aluminum scrap, will stick a bottle of water. So it's very important that transportation team is aware of the hazards and risk, and they are pre-qualified. Then once it gets to your facility, obviously you are inheriting all the residual risk from all the previous processes. So you need to do the inspection. Sometimes also you need to conduct radiation assessment, radiation monitoring. Do you have any radioactive source in there? Are you safe? You need to ensure, preheating process is robust. Sometimes we hear we do preheating, but it needs to be proper preheating. It needs to reach the right temperature at the core of your scrap to evaporate any water. Unfortunately, moisture is something that you cannot inspect. Sometimes you cannot see, you cannot feel, so you need to conduct the process. And, in any recycling facility, there is a lot of robotics, a lot of conveyors. So they need to be properly machine guarded. We need to have the right interlocks, the right sensors in place. So safety is a journey, but my advice in your organization, form a committee. So this committee will be looking at the hazards and the risk in each of these areas and what we can do about it. Bringing all this expertise together, eventually you will be able to bring the risk to acceptable region.
Very good advice, yes. And I like the last statements by bringing all the expertise in the sectors in order to identify all the hazards mentioned by Mr. Haji. Scrap is good for commercially, as we mentioned, but with a lot of hazards and quality issues, as we can understand as of now. So, Mr. Azam, we spoke earlier about quality of scrap, importance of sourcing quality scrap that have less contaminations or zero contaminations, that can fit into the end users. And I already mentioned that I'll be asking you on what are the technological solutions or innovations can help to overcome these issues. Yeah, what I'm trying to ask is that sorting and processing is the beginning of ensuring we have a good quality of scrap. So what type of technologies that we can have in place in order to improve sorting, processing, and overall scrap quality?
Thank you very much, Maria. Your question is really very important regarding, according to the today market, technology is very important for every industry right now. See, regarding scrap, okay, there are a lot of different type of technology. For example, I can discuss with you, there is a AI sensor-based technology right now available in the market. It can sense very easily and very quickly to segregate and sorting the material of aluminium, number one. Number two, and there is high resolution cameras also available in the market, okay. They can segregate aluminium and dust and rubber and glass in a very fast way. Number three, in our language is called cold recycling process. Mean we have to buy, we have to shred, and then we have to do a magnet separator, then air separator, then vibrating, and then we can segregate all these impurities. This is another way. And the final way, there is called drum screening. Okay, through drum screening, all type of dust we can remove it. And these technology, we cannot say we are using all type of technology, but you can say we are using 60% of technology in our recycling facility. And that's why we are the best recycling facility in all over the Oman. This is the thing.
Yeah, very true. Thank you. So it's very clear. And I hope you will have time as well to showcase Silver Star history, and not in this session for sure, but future sessions in order for other recyclers to take advantage of your journey and how you reach to like 4 to 5 stars recycler facility as of today in Oman. So, Engineer Azhar, I know I keep you at the end in all the rounds, but because you are the key player here. I want you to hear the challenges and what people is facing, and we want a solution from your end and what environment authority they are facing. That's why, as of today, we are not overcoming majority of the challenge that we have in the recycling industry. So if I may ask, what role does Environment Authority play in order to enable capacity building across the recycling value chain from collection to processing?
Thank you, Maria, to keep me at the end, because I'm collecting some challenges they are face in reality, which is it is not appear in reality for us as we are a regulator. But we keep tracking for them as there is some site visit to address all these challenges in the facilities. You are asking about a very important subject, which is capacity building. As we are the policy maker in waste management in Oman, and we are updating our strategies and policy to have some economical value of this sector. Capacity building is one important subject that is in our priority. So as we keep developing or updating our guidelines, as we have clear rules for the collectors, for the generators, and also for the recycling facility to be compiled with the environment rules and legislations. It will make the industry and investment in the industry is very clear, and it will be more easy for the investor to know its rules, how they can invest in, and already this one we know that there is a lot of regulations and rules in this sector. Regarding the capacity building, we are looking now for the encouraging innovations with the authority of innovations and to have some awards nationally, because there is these facilities has worked a lot in contributing in circular economy and also contributing in the minimization of using of the natural resources. So all of them is very important in Oman to achieve our goals in Oman Vision, even also in the reducing emissions.
So indeed, Azhar, very clear, and we truly appreciate the effort that Environment Authority is given as of today. And why our recycling forum is progressing and flourishing every year is because of the efforts that Environment as well Authority playing in order to ensure the enforcing of all the needed regulations and policies to regulate the market and to have it well stable and to uplift it actually. So yes, it's very clear, and we truly appreciate, as I mentioned earlier. So I'm not sure. Do you want me to skip round 4 question and go to the closing, or you want to continue? Yani, are you enjoying or no? This is my question. It's up to the audience, so please let me know. I have one more round of questions and the closing, and so I continue? So I'll continue. Thank you. I can see some faces that are hungry, so so no, it's okay, I'll continue. So I'll start with Mr. Haji. Haji, I would like to know, what role does strong EHS governance play in ensuring the recycling operations are both safe and sustainable at the same time?
In terms of EHS, it is what holding together all of the supply chain process, all the way from the collector to the end user. EHS plays a significant role in terms of sustainability, in terms of safety, setting up the right standard according to internationally recognized practices. Also, EHS providing the right standard operating procedure, risk-assessed decisions to have your procedure, minimizing your risk as low as reasonably practicable. Also, EHS help to set your leading indicators, help to set your lagging indicator, help you with the investigation processes, and help for continuous improvement into your processes. The message I want to deliver: safety should not be seen as an obstacle, but really as an enabler. Because safe company is profitable companies most of the time.
Yes, very, very true. So thank you, Mr. Haji. Yeah, it's very clear. So if I can summarize by having clear SOPs as well of how to handle scrap in the company, is the right things to say here?
Absolutely. I mean, for this routine task, we need to have the right standard operating procedure. It's something very important that everybody know his role and what he's supposed to do.
Yes, very clear. Quds, how can companies strengthening transparency across the scrap value chain from collection to final use? As this is very important, as we mentioned in our first round of questions. But the question here is how to increase actually the transparency.
So, transparency brings us to the previous question. Transparency 100% depends on traceability. So if there is no or limited traceability, means transparency is restricted a bit. And I'll try to make my answer very short. 3 key elements are needed here to make this equation works. I would say first is the standard. Standard means to have a common language, or I would say definition, what good scrap looks like. Okay, and then Mr. Azim and technology part, and the second part of the formula, technology has to, I would say, drive it. So after the standard have specified, technology has to drive it. And then finally is the policy makers have to make sure that the adoption of the standard is happening very well, and incentives are there for the adoption of the secondary, I would say, metal. So 3 key elements, in a nutshell, are required to make this equation works. Yeah.
Very good equation. Very good equation. I truly like it. I'll just rephrase it again. So the equation is common language. Yes, we have to have a common language between from a collection to the end user, and with the authorities as well, with the government. Very, very good word. Thank you, Quds. The second one is the technology. Yes, the technology is the biggest barrier that we can see as of today because it's affecting the quality of scrap. The third one is the policy. Policy in order to ensure all the first and the second one is happening. Very, very insightful equation. We will adapt it for sure. So, Engineer Azhar, what can regulatory framework support scaling up recycling operations while ensuring as well environmental protection and compliance?
Regarding environmental regulations, a lot of facilities may think that it is a big barrier in doing investment. But in reality, within our inspections and within our collaboration with the private sector, we want to achieve that to have best practices, and we have to adapt new technologies to achieve our environmental compliance. What we face today is, as we have clear regulations as we have a clear licensing system, still there is many violation of this regulation, which need from the private sector or from other facilities to collaborate with us in achieving our national target and also to save the environment. Regarding this, this is one aspect from our environmental side, but in other aspect we have to support these facilities, not just doing penalties. We direct them to use more efficient ways in recycling, and also, as we mentioned, capacity building of these facilities is very important, even for the collectors and in other value chain of this sector. Talking about maybe some ways to support this investment through maybe financial mechanism, some intensive to have a good market here in Oman, which can be abroad in the overall the world.
So in a nutshell, it's cumulative effort between the sector and between the government as well. And no one can survive without each other.
Yes.
So yeah, it's very clear. Thank you, Engineer Azhar. Mr. Azam, we spoke earlier about the need of technology and the new innovations in the recycling industry. But we would like to know how it is very vital and important to have this, to invest in technology and standards can help ensure long-term sustainability and competitiveness of the recycling sector.
Azhar, see, last year I already discussed with you, if we have a quality, then we have a quantity, then we have a technology. These three things are very important for us. If these three things we have, okay, we can compete every time, anytime. See, as a technology, okay, we can save our money, we can save our time, and we can produce a very good quality aluminium. Then we can compete international market standards. See, last few weeks ago, Toyota company, they came and they visit our facility and they make a very long-term contract with us. Why? Because we have a very good quality aluminium. And we got this contract, okay. So these things where we can get, because we invest on technology. That's why we got this contract. So technology is really very important. If we have a technology and we can recycle our aluminium, we buy from Oman, we can recycle in Oman, we have no need to bring out of Oman. We have no need to import the material. We can reuse our resources. No need to go outside and bring, because it will take a lot of time. We have to waste our time. We have to wait for a long-term shipping cost, so and so on. But on the technology base, okay, we can earn a lot of profit and we can compete the international market. These are the benefits of technology.
يعني keeping us competitive and compete in the international market. And as you mentioned earlier, when we start the aluminium recycling concept earlier in 2 years back, as an initiative from Sahara Aluminium, we were talking about quantity at the beginning, yes. And now we are talking about quality. And the third stage will be, as mentioned by Mr. Mohammed, is the innovation and technology. In order to keep the momentum, let's say, we have to move to the next era, which is how to make the sector sustainable and competitive by ensuring we have the right technology and innovation in place, which is very true, and I'm 100% aligned. I'm not here to say if I'm aligned or no, but yes, I'm 100% aligned with your statements. It's very clear. And I'll be closing the panel discussion by clubbing 2 questions together, actually. And I'll ask all my panelists to answer the questions. So, based on your based on what we have discussed from the very early morning today, from our distinguished keynote speakers, and from the first panel discussions on policy and regulations and enhancing the economic contributions of the aluminium recycling sector into the country. How, and now talking about quality, responsible sourcing, traceability, risk, all these terminologies in the aluminium recycling sectors, how can Oman today position itself as a regional leader in high quality, responsible recycling practices, and particularly in aluminium, and what are the biggest barriers in achieving a fully integrated and safe recycling ecosystem? We want to position Oman, but at the same time we have a challenge. So how to position Oman while we are having a barrier of having this fully integrated ecosystem? I'll start with Mr. Haji.
From my perspective, from what I can hear today, one area of focus is how to keep all the scrap in Oman, is how to improve the quality of the existing scrap here in the country and can be remelted in the country. How we can improve in terms of technology. You touch a lot on the technology you are utilizing. We touch also on regulation. How can regulation help us in order to keep the scrap here in the country? So responsible sourcing. So there is a lot of areas when it comes to remelting and recycling industry. And I believe we need to come, all of us together, and come up with this opportunity of improvement and with what we can do to position Oman, in high regard in terms of recycling ability.
Thank you, Mr. Haji. Please, Mr. Azzam.
According to my point of view, I think so Oman it will become a regional leader soon.
Inshallah.
Okay, but right now we are in the middle. We are ongoing process. But I think so in the Gulf region, Oman is the country whereas he is leading, especially in scrap aluminium, not other countries. Okay. And this thing, it will create a very high value in future, even though it will create a lot of jobs. And what I'm thinking in my future, there are a lot of end user, they will become and invest especially in Oman. This is my idea, my opinion, I think so. It will become soon.
Based on your observation, because you have a long history in this
Yes,
sector.
you are right. So the potential is really very strong right now. Even though I have a lot of different grades and I like to sell here, really. So these are my opinion. For future, the potential is very strong, the future is very strong regarding aluminium, and this credit 100% it goes to Ministry of Environment because they work very hard over the last few years.
Yes,
this is the thing.
Engineer Ashar, if we may have your comments as well in the two questions.
Thank you, Azzam, for your appreciate. Regarding this, we can summarize all this. I'm supporting our colleagues' idea, and Haji has said that our strong collaboration with the stakeholders, even private and governmental sector, is very important. To have a proper collection system or a proper value chain system and monitoring system will be work very and have high impact in the sector. At morning we have mentioned that there is an 3 times increase in aluminium scrap price recycling in Oman. So there is a high potential in Oman to be within as a leader in our country.
Fast.
But now statistics said that we are in the middle as the third country in the GCC country in recycling. So all of together we can improve all these things. We are working a lot in in updating our regulations as there is fast development has been seen in this sector.
Thank you, Azhar. Please, Quds, you have 2 seconds. We are already running out of time. Just appreciation.
I think the time is up. I would rather use my time to get some questions maybe from the
Okay, great.
audience.
So I would like to thank my panelists because I know after the question and answers, majority of you will leave. So we are open the floor for questions. I think we can have 3 to 4 questions only because we are running out of time. 1 to 2 questions. I reduced it because I didn't see any hands up. Please, Engineer Ali from NAP, from Synergy Casting. Sorry, I'm new to the industry. Excuse me.
Thank you for the informative discussions. Just a question, and I might start with Engineer Azhar. I've missed the last slide, actually. I've written something like, regulation is not limitation. I couldn't really complete reading it. Anyway, the question is just behind it. Such initiatives, I would say, recycling aluminum brings a lot. We'll be discussing this since the morning up to now. The same thing, to enable the sector to be more proactive and productive in the future, and as well to grow, be the leader in the region. It needs some enablers. And when I think about it, especially with the question being asked to the panelists.
Can you raise your voice?
Yeah, especially with the
Now
questions
it's clear.
being asked for the panelists about the technology they need really to adapt, because this as such recycling has a lot in it. You need really to spend and invest in order to get to the proper qualities and as well to prevent major accidents to happen. And that's a lot of investment. So I'm just thinking about the incentive, and you have mentioned something about providing some loans with certain mechanism. What about the carbon credit? Cannot be there rewarded as a carbon credit for those who's really spending and producing aluminum? We've been highlighting that around 95% actually saving when it comes to the energy. They're just recycling, they're not producing. So they are really supporting the initiative. Just trying to think loud what other incentives you can provide the sector so the sector can invest as well in this side. And another thing maybe for the forum organizer as well. We would love to see in the future as well how much being invested in this sector, in the recycling, and the aluminum recycling. We've been doing this for a year, and
We will take your points. I like these type of questions. The last one.
So I may answer. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your question. And as in the previous discussion panel, they have clear idea about what is happening today in the waste sector to derive the net zero vision. So all of you know about the net zero and its concept. It is a new concept in Oman, and all governments had work on this. Waste sector, it was one of the minimum sector which is expected to have production of emissions. But now, after updating the strategy, they focus on also in this sector as it contributes a lot to achieve this vision. So what we do now is to have a full study of the sector, to have some clear idea about what type of investment we need in Oman, and to ensure that we can reach our target in net zero emission.
I hope the answer is clear. Thank you, Engineer Azhar. From Sahara Aluminium, Abdullah Al-Maqbali, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Maria, and the panelists. Maybe a question for Mr. Azam. If you'd be able to showcase more on the technologies, I think establishing what are the key considerations, what are the parameters, what are our specifications. It's new and it's evolving, the safety considerations, the design. There could be innovations, there could be out-of-date technologies. So have you considered showcasing these like in the upcoming Oman Sustainability Week, for example, or other events at the national level? Is that on the horizon, or it is something maybe for you to consider? Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. See, every month I have to visit a lot of countries, and I visit just to learn something. Next month there is one exhibition in Saudi Arabia. Okay, I must have to attend this exhibition. Even though in May there is one exhibition in China. Just I want to go there and see the technology, what technology they are using right now. Okay, and what type of technologies they are using, immediately I have to buy and I have to install and start the process. And already I told you, we are using cold recycling process. Cold recycling process, we are not just only for recycling purpose, we are also think about our safety measures, our hazard and non-hazard things. We can control before we have to add our material in the furnace. And we are running our furnace over the last 3 years, alhamdulillah, we don't have any mishap, and we are running very successfully, alhamdulillah. So regarding technology, I am very conscious, and we are investing every month, every year. We have our R&D department. If we are facing any problem, immediately we have to change, and we have to go through the technology, not only for manual basis. Thank you.
I hope the answer is clear, Abdullah. It's continuous R&D and continuous diagnosing for the market for new technologies and innovation. And I do believe this is not what it comes to the recycling sector. This is what all industries actually do, which is continuous improvement, we call it. So I would like to thank my panelists, and I would like to hear a huge round of applause for all my panelists for their wonderful contribution for today's panel discussion. And thank you for being patient with us. And this is the end, I think, of the forum. And
Thank you, esteemed panelists and Ms. Maria, for giving us an insightful discussion. Let us give all the panelists a huge round of applause. On that note, it is my pleasure to invite back on stage Engineer Saeed Al-Masoudi, CEO of Sahar Aluminium, to sum up today's forum with his closing remarks.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. I hope you enjoyed this morning's session. And I hope it's beneficial. I hope you made some network as well, new network. And please keep on. It's every year, inshallah, hopefully that we're going to see you again next year. The most important that what's the takeaway from today? It's very important. That we keep, please don't wait for the next edition if you have an issue. We have all the regulators here, the government, producers, collectors, everybody is here. So I think that the main purpose of this is to bring the topics to the surface, discuss it, and find solution as I indicated in the morning. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As we come to the close of this remarkable day, I would like to reflect on what has truly been a powerful exchange ideas and shared ambition. Today, Forum has demonstrated the strength and collaboration across institutions and industries. We have heard diverse perspectives from policymakers to industry experts, all united by a common purpose to advance aluminium recycling and strengthen sustainability across our sector. The forum made possible through this forum made possible through the valued support of the Environment Authority has brought together leading voices to explore critical topics shaping the future of aluminium recycling. The discussion have offered not only insight but also practical direction, highlighting global trends, reinforcing the importance of local resource utilization, and emphasizing the growing role of secondary aluminium in a more sustainable world. We have also gained a deeper understanding of the regional landscape, the opportunities within GCC, and the importance of building a robust recycling ecosystem. The conversation around the circular economy principles and the role of the recycling in Oman's sustainable development journey have been particularly impactful. Equally important were the technical and strategic discussion during our panel sessions, from scrap quality, standards, and safety to the economic and investment outlook of the recycling sector. The dialogue has been both thought-provoking and forward-looking. These insights will undoubtedly contribute to strengthening our national capabilities and positioning Oman as a key player in the recycling value chain. At Sohar Aluminium, we remain firmly committed to advancing the aluminium recycling industry. The conversation we had today are not an endpoint, but a catalyst for continued progress. Let's move forward with a shared sense of purpose, carrying these insights into action, driving innovation, and shaping a more sustainable future for our industry and for Oman. As we conclude the third edition of the Aluminium Recycling Forum, I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to the Environment Authority for their continued partnership and commitment to sustainability. Our thanks also go to all presenters and panelists for their valuable contribution, and to each of you, our attendees, for your active participation and engagement. A special acknowledgement goes to the organizing team whose dedication and hard work have made this event a success. Shukran jazeelan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Engineer Saud Al-Masoudi, and to all our esteemed attendees and participants for gracing today's forum. We hope you had an enriching and insightful experience that would enable you to enhance your business and your sustainability initiatives. We look forward to welcoming you at the next edition of the Aluminium Recycling Forum in 2027. I would like to invite you now to join us on stage for a group picture. All the participants.